Most divorce attorneys make a huge legal error. Husband and wife get divorced. There's a $260,000 mortgage. Husband doesn't get to keep the house. Wife's going to get the house because the kids are living in the house. And divorce attorneys say, well, just part of the settlement is you're going to quit claim your half of ownership to her.
Interesting take from Dave Ramsey. I agree with most of it. And the point is that if you quit claim your interest in property while you're divorcing to the spouse that is keeping the property, but you don't actually get your name off of the loan and are no longer a borrower on that loan, then you still have that loan and you're still obligated to repay it.
So he fills out a one-page quitclaim as part of the divorce decree. Boom. There we go. But guess what? Husband still has a $260,000 mortgage. 5 years later, he gets remarried and wants to have a life and buy a house. Can't do it. Still got a $260,000 mortgage in his ex-wife's name.
So in North Carolina, a divorce decree is not a magic wand to untangle everything that has happened between spouses or that they own together. And I think we're pretty lucky in the area that we serve that our local bar very rarely neglects this point, which I think is really good for a lot of people that are separating and getting divorced in our area. So Dave Ramsey makes a really good point here. I know some people find him controversial, but his point is great, is that force the sale of the house or get refinance. So the separation agreement, a lot of people think, well, the separation agreement said, all right, husband will quit claim his interest to wife and wife will refinance and get the husband out the house. But the separation agreement is just that. It's an agreement. It is not the document that actually causes those things to happen. So what can cause those things to happen? The first is a deed recorded in the county where the property is located. And second is a refinance or sale of the property. Of course, that can be done by a contract or by a refinance with a lender. You know your options there, but all right, what if you have agreed, yes, we need to refinance the property, I will quit claim my interest to you. How do you make sure that you're not quit claiming your interest over, but then still being stuck with the loan? And something that we see in our office quite often is there will be a set amount of time in which the spouse that is keeping the real estate has to refinance the property. And in exchange for the refinance, the deed won't be provided for recording until the closing of the refinance. So for example, in Dave Ramsey's example, it was the wife keeping the house. So wife is refinancing the property. She is at the closing of her refinance. At that point, usually the family law attorneys have prepared a deed and they deliver it. And we're instructed, you cannot record this deed until you are preparing to record the refinance of the home. So that generally happens with deed being recorded and then new deed of trust and satisfaction of old deed of trust being recorded, so that in, like Dave Ramsey's example, the husband would no longer be on the loan. And divorce attorneys do this all the time because it's easy. It's easy, but it's wrong. And it's important because say you do get a divorce and you need that credit free to be able to buy a new house, or say you want to start a new life with a new spouse and you need to be able to qualify for a loan. If you're still obligated on a loan for a house that you don't own, that goes against your available credit and it really affects your debt to income ratio. So make sure that if you are going through this, that you are talking to your family law attorney and maybe even a lender about what is the right thing to do here so that I am not obligated to repay a loan for a house that I don't own anymore. I'm Tiffany Weber. I am a real estate attorney, not a divorce attorney, in Mooresville, North Carolina, and we handle transactions like this all the time, and this is how I've seen it done.